Hello guys, I know it's coming late. So today we are going to be talking about the weekly anticipation. So for this week we don't have any piece of data on GBP, Euro, USD for Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday we are going to have GBP CPI. Wella is going to speak on Wednesday, and then the FOMC meeting minutes. It's going to come out on Wednesday. Then on Thursday we have PMIs. We have PMIs. Then on Friday we're going to have the retail sales for GBP and Paul speaking at the Jackson Hole Synopsym. So I think that's it for this week. Now, for the week, some certain information, some certain data here are actually very important, like the CPI for GBP. It's very important as regards to GBP. And for Euro, we are going to be looking out for the PMI. It's also important for GBP and also for US, but most importantly, at this time, it's more important for Euro. Reason is that, as you could see, last week we had our what's it called? The GW sentiment, and you could see how market didn't just react too much to it. So market is really waiting on the PMI to see how things are going, and to a little extent PMI might really affect the sentiment towards rate cuts, whether we're still going to have a final rate cut this year or no more rate cut for the foreseeable future. And for USD, the most important piece of data is on Friday, where Powell will be speaking at the Jackson Hole Synopsym. So here, market is anticipating that there is a possibility that he might say something pertaining to the rate decision. And there's also another possibility that he might not do that. So it's just a 50-50. The market is looking towards, seeing what he says about that. I think that is it when we look at, so yeah, looking at what has happened, I think last week, if we look at um the CPI coming out and it was negative, so dollar weakness kicked in after this. But as I said last week, that if this comes very close to the forecast, or almost the same thing or the same, then we are going to now look at what PPI does. And as you can see, PPI came out like with a whole lot of differences, and you would see how the market reacted to it. Now PPI, on a normal economic condition, this could have actually made reduce the odds of a rate cut for September, but because of the way the bond market is moving, it is only right that we see a rate cut, and the market has actually priced in the rate cut for September, so it has been priced in. Note the word priced in, because when we get to the chart, I'll be talking more about that. So looking at, okay, some people are, let me just chip in this here, some people are actually looking at, when Trump brings in his desired Fed chairman by next year March, or after next year March. Now the problem is this: after that, whoever is coming for 2026 might not really have much of a rate cut in his arsenal. You understand? Because I think most of the rate cuts that will be happening under Powell. So if Powell is able to achieve cutting majority of the rate cut, then whoever is coming next will have little or nothing to do. So, but let's see how things actually unfold as we keep going. Now, coming to sentiment, we could see we're still in August, and yeah, bullish August. I think that's all I can say for now. Now for COT, in all sincerity, COT is actually giving me some vibes of a little bit push towards the upside for dollar, but we'll have to wait and see what happens though. I think everything lies on what does GBP do based on their CPI, what does the PMI look like, because if you see huge differences in PMI for US dollars, it's actually going to impact the market. Then we look at what is Powell going to say. So these are very, very important information that will help us understand what we are going to. So now let's go over to technicals. So coming to technicals, we marked out the weekly levels we are going to be looking out for. This is the weekly high here and the weekly low here. Let me navigate through here. Now for Euro, you would see we have the weekly high here if we're going to be bullish, the weekly low here. For GBP, we're going to see the weekly order block here versus the weekly high up here, as the levels will be going up, will be looking out for if we were to be on the weekly level, sorry. So, and let's go over to the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, I've marked out some important things to actually note, and which are fundamental key levels. So if we look at it, first of all, we would see this was when the Bank of England had a bullish cut, and you could see how market has moved from there to CPI, and here we have our PMI. So for me personally, I think we might actually have a rangy market until we see another fundamental data that would help market push up. Although we could see this level taken, this PMI, candle high taken. Reason is that this didn't affect much when it comes to rate decision or rate cut. So this could actually be easily be blown through, and then we can now see market coming up to somewhere around there. Now when you look at Euro, we see our CPI candle here, and then we also see the PMI candle here. Now you would also notice that the PMI candle high has been blown out. You see, so this is the high here is 152. This is 154. So this is 152 also. So this level has been taken out on Friday. So you see, that's why I said it's not something that will be actually sustainable. So I'd actually want to see market continue going up towards this level. Now if you look at DXY, we would notice that forget about this high here. I remember when I talked about this level here. Well, forget about this. It's a manipulation. It's not supposed to be. It's not actually supposed to be. So it's a manipulation for DXY. If you go to like USDX, you will notice that this wick up here doesn't exist. So that is why my swing high is here. So this level was not taken. The CPI high will not be taken for now. Now if you look at PPI, so I want to see market respect this MA here and then continue going down. This PMI level will be easily be taken. So very, very easily be taken in my humble opinion. Very, very humble opinion. So I think that is it. For now, if we look at DXY, we don't really have a definite direction for now. We don't have a definite direction for now, although we are more to the upside. So but we would actually have to, I want to see markets going towards the downside. If we look at Euro is already to the upside, CP is already to the upside, so CP is already bullish. Now if you look at GBP has I would say bearish because this low has been taken, even though the candle closes bullish. But yeah, I want to see more bullish move, more move to the upside. So as regards which would be the strongest, I think for now we have to actually wait for PMI to now determine that. So yeah, this week for me is actually going to be more of like a range move until after Friday. So this level, even though has been taken by this, would actually, cause us to actually have some certain level of range. So I think that's it. So see you guys next week.